Today is a great day of Navratri. We are sitting on the cusp of the 6th and the 7th. Sixth and the 7th is the day when Mahasaraswati finished her work and the incarnation of the Shakti itself started. So at 12 o'clock today, the Devi takes the Shakti upon herself. Of course, as you know, that Mahakali and Mahasaraswati both are the powers of Sri Sadashiva. Adishakti first formed herself into Mahakali, which is the power of desire. But all these powers are nothing but the power of God's love. So, in the series of this great love of God, Adishakti had to first become the power of desire. In the same way, Sahajogis who are bestowed with this power of love have to have full desire in their heart. Desire to love. That desire is very different from the other kinds of human love you have known. In other kinds of human love, when we have relations with others, we have expectations, and that's why it is very disappointing. Our expectations always run higher than our understanding and realities. And so we suffer from disappointments and frustrations. And the love that has to be nourishing and fulfilling becomes a thankless job. So when it reflects in the human beings, it is the desire to be loved by everyone, not to love others. Everyone should love you, but how far you love another is the point. Naturally, everyone for oneself, so really nobody loves. But when it comes to real love, then sacrifice becomes a nature. You don't call it a sacrifice, but you call it a privilege. You say it's privilege to give love. It's a great chance that we can love. It's our great fortune that we can love. It's God's blessings that we can love and give. So the giving starts when you realize, not understand, but realize the love, the power of love. That's the third power which starts expressing. Because after this, a person becomes active, creational. That's how the action of achieving that state of giving love starts. To begin with, we start activating in so many ways. As I said, we start expecting and thinking that we are loving others. We act for that. In that madness that others should love us, others should respect us, others should think we are great, they should recognize us. we start loving something else which is not so important. So we go on first to money. Money becomes a very important part. We think that if you have money, people will love us. We become very powerful as money. Money people, as rich people. So we start accumulating money. We start loving the money. But money is not the truth. We don't love the truth. When we start loving the money, we start thinking about problems of money. Such people can become miserly to such an extent that even towards God they become miserly. They never have money actually, because if you cannot spend your money, you have no money. If it is not available, what's the use of having all the money? That's how they have problems. Because they love money and not the God Almighty. They're worried about money, but not about the truth. Then with that, they go to a second thing, is the power. They want to have the power, they want to become presidents, ministers and bureaucrats and all that. They want to have the power. They think by having great power, people will respect them and love them. But they get drowned in fear. What they get is fear. All the time they have fear. Also money people have fear. That's why in the Bible it is said that wages of sin is fear. What is sin? Sin is not to love the truth, is the sin. When you don't love the truth, then it is sin. So when you start getting worried about your positions, like the president feels that he'll lose his job, the vice president thinks that he'll be sacked, the prime minister thinks he may not be elected, the bureaucrats think they will lose their jobs, they won't get promotions or something. There will be problem. All these people are suffering from terrible sense of fear. They have no freedom of any kind. And in that category, people just go down so much with fear. They are even worse than people with money. Because once they are lost, they are lost. They can never revive. No chance. Once you lose the election, you are lost. Nobody is going to look at you. I have known people who have been at a very high position, and once they lose that position, nobody looks at them. They just walk like straight. Otherwise, there will be at least 100 cars to receive them. And once they lose their jobs, there's nobody even to look at them. They just walk like ordinary people. Even seeing all these things happening, this truth, just coming before them so clearly, they do not keep to that truth. They do not realize that truth. They do not have that realization within them. They understand for a while and they go after it. Then when the person dies, they see a moneyed man, a rich man is forgotten. Nobody is bothered about them. Who was the rich man? On the contrary, the people, the prime ministers and all those high-ranking people, when they die, immediately books start coming out about their private life, all the dirty things they did, and all the horrible things they did, and what sort of a life they led. There's no fragrance in their life, no idealism, nothing. Because responsibility that they have to the public and to themselves, they have not understood it. And they made a mess of their private life. That's why this kind of a reaction comes after that. The other day I was reading an interview with a very well-known actor. He's a born realized fellow, I know, but he's gone down completely. He says, I think, what's the harm in drinking? What's the harm in gambling? What's the harm in smoking? Because after all, I'm going to die. And then, who is going to bother? Supposing I get cancer, so what? In any case, I'm going to die. So why not enjoy these pleasures of life? But what about death? You continue with it. Then all that you've been doing will come out. And people will not like to have your photograph in the household. Children will spit at you. What about that? Your life is not what it is today for 3, 4 years or 10 years or 15 years of your so-called success. But when you die, all this craziness will disappear. And people will come out with truth about it. That is how this power to be popular finishes. This cheap popularity, this cheap type of treatment towards yourself gives you a personality that will not be worshipped, that will not be accepted. Nobody will go to buy something great. For some time it will continue. But in totality, such a person has given nothing to humanity. That's how the power of Saraswati works. People go into action for achieving results of getting into power. But it should act to discover the truth. Saraswati should give you the lead to find out the truth. That when you act in those funny places and streets, you discover this is not the path. We have missed it. The path is somewhere else. We've lost it. Let us find out the real path, because this doesn't give joy. This one can learn from others, from history, from so many other things, and from your own parents, from your society, and from yourself, and from your children also. If you want to learn, that is the quality of Saraswati Pujaris, that they take to Jnana, they take to reality. Vedas, in the beginning of the Vedas, it said that if by reading these 4 Vedas, if you do not get the Vida, Vida is the knowledge on your nerves, means realization. There is no use reading these Vedas. So the Saraswati's first thing is that through the reading, through the process of Saraswati's manifestation, you must reach a point to understand that this is a rat race and we have to get out of it. We have to stand up. When that happens, then the Mahalakshmi Tattva starts working in you. That is the third Tattva, it starts working. Mahalakshmi Tattva then starts expressing its love in its full extent through evolutionary process in human beings. He starts evolving simultaneously. He sees on both the sides what's happening like a witness, and he uses his Mahalakshmi power. In the first part of the Mahalakshmi power, he starts getting out of the common rut of the family bondages and the other human bondages of power, money, lust. And he starts moving on a higher plane. He gives us a new idea of popularity by establishing the truth. Because through Mahalakshmi power, you discover the truth on your central nervous system, and ultimately it is the light of an enlightened brain. When the Mahalakshmi power starts manifesting, one starts thinking of others, not on material level. That materially people are suffering now. There are people in Ethiopia who say we must give them some food, this, that. No. They go to the roots of the problems. Why? Or they don't think there should be equal distribution of money and wealth. No. This is superficial. Because wherever it is done, people are not happy. They feel they have no freedom. Those people who have money are not happy because they have a demonic life where they are free. They behave like demons. No sense of totality, no sense of collectivity. When they become like that, they even do not realize that they have become demonic. Everything becomes like a big martyrdom. They fight for lands, they fight for nations, they fight for rights, and they do all kinds of horrible things. Start destroying people, human beings. All the turmoil of today is the effect of mostly in the West and also all the Arabic countries, I would say, is of the right side. And in the East, it is of the left side. The turmoil is. It's very surprising that where, it's very contrasting also. It's a funny dilemma for me, I can't understand it sometimes. That where they are so particular about the chastity, they become, when they are so much worried about chastity and everything, that they should have problem of the left side. They do puja, they have shraddha, they are like Catholics, we can say, are never rich people. We seldom, except in New Switzerland. I think here everybody is rich because they are so money oriented. So, or the people where they are right-sided, when they neglect their chastity, not bothered about the right side, they have the problems of the right side. It's very surprising. The reason is where they look after the chastity, what? They go too much into it. Now supposing a person is doing a puja. He just goes on doing puja, morning till evening, without any activity. Very easy to do puja, isn't it? Just come down, somebody does puja for you, get the vibrations, nicely blessed, go. Nothing to be done. No activity. So there is no balance. So they do puja and they think, oh, they have done very well. No. If you are a right-sided person, then puja will help you, but not if you are a left-sided person. Puja does help. Of course, my puja will help. no doubt, in both the sides, because I am neither left nor right, nor anywhere. So the puja part, when they do, supposing a man is doing a puja to a Devi. In India, they take a great courage to do puja to a Devi. You do not know that. Saptasati that we have, that thing when the people do, they get possessed. They can't understand. First of all, they have a statue of someone made by some horrible fellow. Then they do the puja of that goddess. They are God-fearing. Everything is good. We have got temples where there are also, you can say, swambhus from the Mother Earth, which are worshipped and should be all right, but no, they get possessed. Why? Because most of them, these temples, are haunted by or haunted by spirits, because they do all kinds of tantric things there. And when people go and do the pujas there, what happens to them? That they get attacked. They become more left-sided. Now the Muslims and others who believe in a God which is Nirakar, which is formless, they go to the right side. It's formless God. It's nice. Formless, everywhere is God. In me, in you, everyone, there is God. Everybody is God. Even if you are a devil, you are God. There's nothing wrong with anyone. Everybody is God. Starts on that principle. So they go on to supraconscious side. And they become demonic. Then they must fight, because they are devils. Devils have to fight, otherwise how will they exist? They fight, they aggress, they go to other countries, aggress them, capture them. All the time they are thinking of aggressing others. In a subtler way they aggress. Nowadays the media is aggressive in the West. There are so many ways of aggression, and to them aggression is something, is very dharmic. For anything. They'll ask direct questions, arrogant, insulting, and cruel. They become cruel. That's how the turmoil starts, when we start using the power of Saraswati in a wrong way, or the power of Mahakali in the wrong way. That's why in Sahaja Yoga, before the puja, you have to go into a lot of activity. You have to decorate the hall, you have to get the flowers, you have to organize everything beautifully. Look at the roses, how beautiful they are. Then you start balancing yourself with all these activities you do. And then you sit down for puja. That's like in the daytime you work, in the night you sleep. To rest, to get the bliss, you must be active. Like they had to climb Himalayas to achieve meditation. Because when you are tired, you can be restful afterwards. Otherwise, if you get somebody, say, from Switzerland only, a very speedy person for meditation, you'll have to put the glue on him to settle down, because he'll be frantic, all the time. He'll be all the time jumping. So the activity has to come before the puja. The balance has to be established. So the ladies have to find out the saris and the blouses and this and that, and they have to worry about putting the flowers, arranging things, this, that, a lot of activities. You have to travel. For English it was necessary to travel all the way from England to arrange their money and rooms and everything to come here. To go to futuristic side, to think what they are going to pay, how they are going to pay back their loans. All this futuristic planning they have to do before they come to Switzerland. Switzerland being the most active place, it's better to have the puja here, so they are not so much active. That's how the Devi arranges everything. So the ascent starts evolving. In that, the play of the Devi is the Navratri, in your ascent. From ages, Navratri, that's why, is the most important puja. In Sahaja Yoga, Navratri is the most important puja. Though we can say modern Sahaja Yoga, Sahasrara is because that's how you started getting your realization. But if you go to the whole historical events of evolution, you'll find Navratri is the one which has brought you to Sahasrara. Without the help of the Devi at different stages of your ascent, you could not have been in a position to receive your realization. So all the steps that you took in the past are today worshipped and are used for thanking the Devi for what she did to bring you down. So it's like a thanksgiving. Without her work, nothing could have happened. So when we read about the Devi, about her incarnations, how she came on this earth to save her bhaktas, people who are trying to ascend, to cross this Bhavasagara, how she worked hard, how she fought the devils, how she killed the demons, single-handed. She took upon herself the responsibility of making the people cross the Bhavasagara. Guru gave you the strength of dharma, but she is the one who brought you out. Even those who were dharmic could not do it because of the demonic pressure. She is the one who fought single-handed with her powers of destruction. In her love for you, she fought. She brought you to this level. And then she took a milder form of incarnation. Even during the time of all the gurus, she took the form of, as you know, Janaki was the daughter of Janaka. Then Fatima was the daughter of Muhammad Shah. And Nanaki was the sister of Nanaka. In those forms, these powers sustained and nourished the Guru Tattva. And later on, or sometimes simultaneously, they incarnated in milder forms to help human beings to rise. So today is the day of thanksgiving. As Guru Puja is a day of thanksgiving to your Guru, the one who has counseled you, the one who has told you about the truth, the one who has taught you the truth and has given you realization. And the Devi Puja is a thanksgiving where single-handed, just like a very loving mother, under her sari, she protected you, fought for you, fought with every enemy that is around. Every sword of problems that existed and ultimately brought you to Sahasrara level and then gave you realization. It's a real thanksgiving to the mother. So we can say Navratri is like a Mother's Day, where you give thanksgiving to her, which was just relentless, continuous working for her children. Motherhood is much more important than the guruhood, because Guru is the one who trains you, makes you efficient, but the mother forgives you, she loves you, she sustains you, and she teaches you how to love. She has tremendous patience and tremendous love, and she does it single-handed. She doesn't expect anything from you. Absolutely selfless. Selfless is a very small word, I should say. It's such an expansive compassion which engulfs everything that is wrong, dissolves it, digests it, absorbs it. So it's a very great day, Navratri is, for all the Sahajodis. Because then she took her form as Sita, as the power of Sri Rama. Silent, potential, suffering. How much she suffered? How much she suffered? Then she took the form of Radha. Then she came as 5 powers of Saraswati, as the 5 wives of Sri Krishna. Then she came as Mary. That was the greatest suffering, I think, to see the Son being crucified. The suffering, silent, patient suffering, she had to go through it. All that drama to be seen was too much. She went through all that because you all had to cross your Agya Chakra. She had to sacrifice her child. It's easy for father to do that, very difficult for a mother. Now you are all mothers, so many of you, you will know what it is to have a child and how one feels about it. After doing that, she comes to the state where you have to give your realization. It's a work of tremendous patience, as you know. It's tremendous patience and understanding. Human beings, as the time advanced, have evolved for doubt, for realization, but also evolved into very funny, stupid, crooked, nonsensical ways. It's impossible to understand how they go about with their stupid ideas and how troublesome they can be. They can be very crooked, funny, troublesome, to such an extent that sometimes even it is difficult to forgive. Despite that, so many of you are here today in Europe, in the land of the Guru. Here I find who have got realization. So the mother's pride, mother's joy, knows no bounds, no doubt about it. It's such a great thing to see her children sitting here to receive all the powers from her. Now again, when we are in this situation, we have to know the first principle with which the whole thing started. That it is the power of love. It is the power of love that has brought you to this day. And it's the power of love that you will express and manifest, you will evolve. Now, after coming to Sahaja Yoga, also the temptations become subtler and subtler. We try to do Sahaja Yoga. We try to spread Sahaja Yoga sometimes for the power's sake. Maybe you are lonely, so you want to have more Sahaja Yogis. Maybe you do it because you think that that's how you spread your powers. Even there are problems on leadership, I find ego problems there are. Somebody is appointed a leader, then another feels bad, this, that, all goes on. I see the drama going on. Like small children, they fight. What is this leadership? It's just artificial. It's not even noted in any newspaper. As they have mock governments, we have a mock leadership. So then people fight for that. This becomes subtle. The power struggle goes on, becoming subtler and subtler. Then again, money problems come up. Some people think that Sahaja Yoga is a very good way of making money. Or some people think that we can get a lot of money because Mother blesses people with money, affluence, so let us be in Sahaja Yoga. But don't spend a single pie, you see. Just manage it. No, it's not like that. It's the other way around. It's again another dilemma is that in India, which is a place of poverty compared to all of you, everyone donates money. All the trustees in every center, wherever there are trustees, have to donate at least 5,000 rupees to become the trustees. Of course, I don't get anything out of it, but I must have donated, I don't know how much myself to become the trustee of Sahaja Yoga. But you have to donate. And when you become miserly again, that means again, it's the same game going on. You have bank balances, but the source is finished and you have nothing left. The bank balance should be with God. Then He gives you interest more than the capital. Is there any bank which does that? At least not the Swiss bank. You have to pay for keeping money with that. That's how it is. You should always try to go to the source. This becomes subtler and subtler in the sense that people think that now their children are realized souls. Alright, so what? They are not gods, are they? They get so involved with their children. I mean, this is another stupidity women fall into. But to them, their child is so important. They get so adhered to the child. I mean, first they used to neglect the children. Now they become so attached to their children that they look like glued people all the time. And such children cannot grow properly unless and until you give them freedom. Give them full freedom to grow. But guidance, of course, that they are majestic people, meaning Sahaja Yogis, they are born realized. As a Sahaja Yogi, as a good Sahaja Yogi, how they should be. Have a report, talk to them, tell them about it, how they should be. Develop that self-respect within them, that they should be like this, not to glue them to you. That's not the way. Children will never grow properly, even physically, if you glue them to yourself. In the West now I see new ideas coming up that the children must be glued to the mother. This is from one extreme to another extreme. They'll become very left-sided. Even if they'll be grown up in age, they won't grow up in their brains. They won't grow up in their behavior if they are glued with the mother. If they cry for a little bit doesn't matter, but the children must be made to sleep away from mother. All the time, you should not carry your children in your lap. There is no need at all. But this is not that the child wants, it's the mother who wants this kind of thing. And some fathers also have seen, glue down to their children. And then they say, Mother, my child is spoiled, he's like this, like that. Such children will get possessed very fast if you make the children dependent on you. Very fast they will become possessed. If you make them over independent, you are on your own. Like the other side was that when we were in Oxford, a girl of 7 years used to come and give us newspapers, and she was a daughter of a lord. At about 5 o'clock in the morning in that cold, she used to climb up all the way on a bicycle delivering those newspapers. And when I told her, Mother, what are you doing? It's very dangerous. This child is in danger. She's a girl. How can you do that to her? She said, no, she has to be on her own. So the one side is to be on her own, and another side is to glue them. Is again the same subtle attitude of possessiveness. It's possessiveness. This is my child. I must look after the child. The child is a realized soul. This, that. Only your child is not realized soul. Everybody's child is a realized soul in search of. How much do you do for others' children? Or only you look after your own child? The custom should be, if you buy one thing for your child, buy 2 more things for another child. Buy better things for another child and less things for your child. Let your child share his things with others. At the time when you are buying something, buy something that he can share. Teach him how to share. Because though they are realized souls, with the mothers and the fathers like this, they'll become again the same miserly, old style people. Quarrelsome, fighting, beating each other, troubling each other. So be careful. Being realized soul, you will be surprised, they will be extremely, extremely convenient for you. Give them to other Sahaj Yogis to handle. Depend on them, let them look after. And the homogeneous feeling comes through children. Children are the ones who bind each other. But don't touch my child. This is my child. You close the door as soon as somebody comes in. That's you are going back in the same way as your mothers have been. There is no war on in Sahaj Yoga. We are in the domain of God. This realization has to come. There is no need to seek all these useless things, these pleasures of life. Understand your responsibility. That you are Sahaj Yogis first and last and in the middle. And as Sahaj Yogis, what is your duty? Is to be completely dedicated for the betterment and the benevolence of others. That's the only thing which is going to nourish you to rise. If you look after your children like this, like mad, it's not going to help you. You will have problems. If you neglect your children, you will have problems. So come in the center and be just witnesses of all that. It's a very common feeling in the beginning of every Sahaj Yogi who comes to Sahaj Yoga. They'll send me the list of 5 generations on this side and 5 generations on this side. My father's, brothers, sisters, this things, real cousins, real, this thing is sick. So please, Mother, put your attention. And when I put my attention, the attention returns back, I can't find that. It starts like that to begin with. All right, in the beginning I say, all right, just now they have entered. But you don't know these are tentacles which keep you down. They do not allow you to rise in the domain of God. In the domain of God, everything that is yours, even your hair, are looked after by God Almighty. Everything. Can you understand that? Can you realize that? Is all done by billions and billions and billions of powers of Adishakti. What can you do yourself? Nothing, except for worrying and troubling. So just if you believe and assume that power today, that you are in the domain of God, which is active benevolence. The nature of it is active benevolence. As they say, Hita. If you are sick, it is for your benevolence. If you are alright, it is for your benevolence. If you have money, it is for your benevolence. If you don't have money, it is for your benevolence. Everything does good for you in the domain of God. Do not judge it according to your own standards. Whom do you think to be a person who is benevolent in this world? Apart from me. Really, in the real sense of the word. Supposing you take a man who is very rich. Is he benevolent? No. Is he happy? No. Is he respected? No. At least he has to be a realized soul to be somewhere near that description. And if you have to ascend in the domain of God, you have to know that everything works through His power. Your activity, your inactivity, your sleep, everything is worked through His powers of love. Love can never harm, can never destroy. You go a little ahead of it, and it showers flowers of God. But understand your nature. Supposing you are a left-sided person. Mostly I've seen left-sided persons always want to do my pujas. And the right-sided persons are organizers. Do the other way around. Must know your nature. Give yourself a balance and then enter into the kingdom of God. Like you are entering into a door, say for example, and you have too much load on your back, meaning you are a left-sided person. Then take down the load from your back on your head and enter. But if you have too much on your head, put it on your back and enter. Because you are tired, you do it every day. Supposing this hand is tired, you put it on the left hand. I see in the aeroplane when people are walking, they are holding it with one hand, and automatically when it is tired, they put it to the left. Automatically, they are not Sujukis. In the same way, in life also, if you have done one-sidedness too much, try to do the other side and give yourself a balance. Navratri is the day to give you the balance. Those whose right hand is tired will get the power in the left hand. Those who have the left hand tired will get the power of the right hand to share the load. So those who are having money problems will solve their money problems. And those who have sleeping problems will solve their sleeping problems. But one can say, if somebody has both, then what do they do? I know of somebody, I lived there in that country, where they have both the power. They sleep as well as they have no money and they are not bothered. So, for such people, what should we do? Of course, I won't tell you, but one has to do something about it. One has to work out something. They just don't move. And if you tell them, answer is, I know I sleep a lot. I know I'm like this. I know. That's all. Then what do you say? It stops you completely. You can't go further. If they know what more to be told. This is a complete mountain there standing just to finish you completely. So one has to do. Everyone has to do. Somebody is working it out. Somebody is doing some work. And another is not helping. Then that cannot be completed. It's a collective work. One person cannot do it. I've seen it happens like this. It's a collective. So we come to the position that Navratri today is not the work of Mother only, which she did so far. It's the work of every one of us. I cannot do it single-handed. If I could, there was no need for you to be here. I would have built the aeroplane, put you there, push them somehow or other, lock it up and put you there. It's not possible. You all have to carry your own aeroplanes. Build it up and carry it yourself with dignity. Not like small children, so you have to mature. And for that maturity, it's a collective thing that has to take place. In the beginning in the school, all right, they'll teach you 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But when you go to the college, you have to do it yourself. Solve the problem yourself. And that's what it is today. Sahaja Yoga is good to get your realization in these modern times. But the maturity has to take place. Otherwise it's useless. Up to the seed was all right, but once it is sprouted, it must become the tree, otherwise it's useless. And that all of you have to do together, helping each other, understanding each other. And everyone has to work it out. Even if one person suffers, I suffer. The whole thing has become collective. The Devi has become collective. It's a venture. It's a venture, I know. Too much of it. There was no other way out. It's like crucifixion of every part of your body, every cell of your body. But it's all right. So today, instead of feeling guilty, you should be filled with tremendous courage and tremendous enthusiasm. That we have to do it, because Mother has given us the power. We can do it. Nothing should keep us down. And we are going to help each other. One person is doing one job, nobody will look at it. You see, they won't just move. I know. I'm sitting down. I know. I don't do anything. I know. And in Sahaja Yoga, it has become even subtler. I want to do, but there's a booth in me which doesn't allow me to do. So you get out with your booth. That's what it is. All these arguments are stupid, of no value in Sahaja Yoga. That means you have not understood the meaning of Sahaja Yoga. You have not understood the meaning of yourself, and you have no respect for your life. That's what it is. If you indulge into such thinking, then it is no good. But today you have to promise to yourself and to me within your heart that you are going to be filled with that enthusiasm and that Shakti. Time has come. Which is going to make you real yogis. Complete dedication. Imagine these PLO people, what they are doing fearlessly. I mean, all kinds of people you see around even in Kali Yuga are so dedicated to something nonsensical. Why can't we be dedicated to something so sensible? They are not afraid of anything. They are daredevils. Why can't we become like that? What's wrong with us? So every one of us must have that enthusiasm, and I am an institution by myself. And I am going to do it. I am not going to take advantage of the ashram life, nicely settle down in the ashram, see, very good, cheap. No. We are all going to move out also and take up a place somewhere there. For the time being, ashram is all right. But then give more room to others who are coming. You get out of it. Go out and stay somewhere and work it out. Then in the ashram, this is my house, I have spent money for this is my furniture, this is this thing, that. Actually, you should know how to live on a string, shoestring, as they say, on a shoestring. Of course, now I am filling every ashram with such a lot of furniture that they have to. Better live on a shoestring. So the tapasya starts. Go into a penance yourself. But then I will hear, Mother, I am on a tapasya, I am eating only once. Why? Who asked you to be on tapasya? Enjoy. Enjoy your tapasya. Then it is surge. Otherwise nonsense. Enjoy. If you can enjoy your tapasya, then you are surge. With enthusiasm. Look at these PLOs. Look at these people. Do they say we are going in a tapasya? Nothing. You have examples of people around you. But we can't say they are possessed by bhoots. Or even if they are, what about you? You better get possessed by surge bhoots for a change. If that's the way only you can be motivated. So tell your mind, no explanations, nothing doing, I am going to show my worth. But all the time, if the attention is just to show off, or to be in my attention, or to be in contact with me, to be writing to me or something, it's not going to help at all. I'm just a mirror. And you see within myself yourself in the true way. And also this mirror is full of Maya. So devil may look into this mirror and may look like a saint to him. If he has ego, he might look like a saint to himself. Or if he is a left-sided person, he might think he is the incarnation of Bhairava. Might. But if he is truthful, he can see clearly that he is the highest of highest. He is a surgeon. And unless until you see yourself like that, know that it's a Maya. So to realize that you have achieved a lot by getting your realization of rising so much higher above all these petty ideas. Every idea is petty, whether it is economics, politics, philosophy, any ism, anything is all petty for a surgeon. Because none of them know even this much about God's domain. What are they talking about is economics. They do not know anything about his politics. They do not know anything that there is a miraculous power which rules the whole universe, which is so efficient, which never fails, so timely, so sensible, so interesting, dramatic. See how we resolved all these things in no time. How we got to this place. I was to have this puja here. All this you know. How I came here. See the miracle working. How the powers of the divine working. You be the proper instrument of the divine. And it has another force, as I told you, centripetal and centrifugal, and you might be thrown out. So be careful on that point. Face yourself in truthfulness. Do not get pampered by your ego or morosed by your superego. Just see for yourself as a powerful instrument of love. But in love you do not become indiscreet. Steadily, beautifully, gently, you attend to it. And so much power can be born. You will be amazed that water, which looks something so frivolous to us, has so much power in it. You know about hydrostatics. This Mother Earth, which looks so simple, we walk on her our feet, she attracts us on ourselves. She's spinning with such a speed herself, she keeps us sticking on to her. She's doing thousands of tremendous jobs, this great Mother Earth. She looks so simple. She's so powerful. In the same way you are made out of this Ganesha Tattva, which is so tremendous. This Navratri Shri will give you that power. Those 9 powers of 9 chakras. 7 chakras, you already know. Above that, you become a master yourself. And then you become the power yourself.